Very interesting video ahead. Let's get started with Bitcoin. So first of all, looking at Bitcoin, I've put across the EMA ribbons here. And we can see that we are looking like we're breaking out of the EMA ribbons, which is actually quite rare during a bear market. I mean, if we zoom out a bit here, we can see that bear markets usually act as resistance. So the EMA ribbon usually acts as resistance in a bear market. For example, right here we had resistance. We had resistance here. We had a small breakout and obviously had kind of resistance here as well. We had this breaker, but the trend is to stay below the EMA ribbon in a bear market, while in a bull market, once we break above the EMA ribbon, like for example here in April 2025, we usually sustain this and stay above the EMA ribbons. While in a bear market like last time, when we broke down in the last cycle, once we go down, we stay below the EMA ribbons until the moment we enter a bull market, which is when we break above the EMA ribbons. Now, we can see that we have some breakouts, of course, slight breakouts above the EMA ribbon, but these usually are fake outs. So like here, we have broke above, but then we continued the trend down. And I think the same thing is going to happen right now. We are breaking above. Yes, we can go a bit higher. And I'll tell you the target actually. The target is usually in a bear market. The target is the bull and bear market support band. So let me remove the EMA ribbon so we can see them here. The target is the bull and bear market support band, which has been hit here, and if we go higher, we are gonna hit it most likely here around about $84,000. Now, if I zoom out a bit, it also acts as a support in a bull market. So you can see here we're in a bull market and it's acting as support. While in a same thing here in a bull market acts as support. While obviously in a bear market, if I zoom out, we know that it acts as resistance. So here it is acting as resistance, and in a bull market acts as support. So let's zoom in a bit on a shorter time frame. And I want to show you guys on the 4-hourly what's basically happening. So I mentioned this previously that the point we have to break for Bitcoin is $72,000, which is the previous. Let me show it to you on the 1-hourly. I think I have some drawings here. So here on the 1-hourly, we can see that we had the target which we have to break is above $72,000, the previous resistance here, and we have actually broken it. So $74,000, and we have broken it. And if we go higher, 84,000 is the target. We had this symmetrical triangle here, which we broke out from. And in my opinion, if we go higher from here, we can hit $84,000 at the bull and bear market support bands. Personally, I sold whatever I bought at 70,000. I sold half of it already at 74, and the other half I have a sell order at 83,000 actually. That's a sell order. And I think based on the market, obviously, we are in a bear market right now. We're following the trend from the last cycle very closely. I mean, we have a double top here, 1, 2, double top here, 1, 2. Then we go down. Then we have an ascending wedge. Same thing happening this time. If you look at the similarities, you'd realize that it's very much the same thing happening. Ascending wedge. We go down further. We create this kind of bearish pattern, which we have broken out from now. But I think it's gonna be a fake out, obviously, going further down. We might hit the next target, which is, like I said, the bull and bear market support bands. Let me show it one more time. It's going to bring us to around about 83,000, 84,000 if we go higher from here. And what I'm looking for is a daily confirmation above $74,000. We need to stay tomorrow. We need to stay above $74,000. Then continue to go down. And along the way, I recommend you to buy more Bitcoin. So let's go away from Bitcoin and look at actually a few other marks. So firstly, Trump, he mentioned that Trump warned the US is prepared to launch new strikes on Khark Island, which is Iran's key exporting hub. It actually exports about 90% of Iran's crude oil, and it could target its oil infrastructure, according to the Financial Times. Now, let me show you guys where Khark Island is. And I have Google Maps open here, and it's a tiny island here on the west coast of Iran. You can see Iran here, and it's a tiny island right about here. So why do they export 90% of their oil from here, from this island? Well, because actually the coastal lines here the mainland coast has very shallow water, so the oil tankers cannot really dock from there. And Kak Island is very heavily protected militarily, so it makes sense. Obviously, still not a good decision to put all of these infrastructures on one island. And if the US continues to target, and they have targeted it now, the oil prices will continue to go up in the short term, and they've actually surpassed $105 today and continue to go higher. I think this is a short-term move, and eventually oil prices have to go down. If you look at fuel prices, for example, in Europe, and hearing from what my friends are telling me, they are going up. For example, in the UK, we're already at £1.90. They've gone up around 30p. In Germany, also around 26 cents. They've gone up in the last 30 days. So as this war continues on oil, fuel prices will continue to go up, bringing higher inflation and higher costs of living, which will eventually force policymakers and force Trump to end the campaign. Now, looking at the next FOMC meeting, which is happening in just under 2 days, we have a 99% likelihood that the interest rates will remain the same at a target of around 3.5 to 3.75% interest rates. So inflation, that's the target for inflation, sorry. So the likelihood that we're going to reduce the interest rates is very low. We're going to most likely stay here as inflation stays high. Now, finally, why do I think we will not have an all season anymore? Well, because we have 37.8 million cryptocurrencies in circulation, and the amount of money that has to come into the market for the whole cryptocurrency market to pump is a lot more money. So this chart actually from this comment highlights it very easily. While in 2021, you can see it here, 2021, we had only about 5 million total altcoins in the market. So it required a lot less liquidity for the market to pump. While now in 2025, with almost 38 million altcoins, it will require a lot more money for the market to pump. So what will happen, in my opinion, is that a few select altcoins are pumping, but not the entire market. And as we continue to pump more, create more meme coins, altcoins, we're not gonna, I think, ever see a time where everything pumps. We don't have that anymore. That is old times, but for now, the core altcoins are still gonna pump, in my opinion, in an all season. But obviously, we're in a bear market right now, so that is not gonna happen anytime soon. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you next time. Bye.